Hello, I'm Ben Schuff. I'm here with my fellow classmate Tork Mason, and we're here today to discuss the BCS bowl matchups for this bowl season. There's a couple of really good matchups, some that are maybe a little less intriguing, but we're going to start off with the Rose Bowl. This year, the game features a traditional Pac-12 Big Ten matchup with Oregon playing Wisconsin. Tork, how do you think that'll end up?
I think it's a pretty intriguing matchup of power and speed. Wisconsin's got enough speed of their own on offense with Russell Wilson and Monty Ball to help make up for that, but I really think that Oregon's speed on both sides of the ball, led by Darren Thomas and Michael James, is going to be a little bit too much for the Badgers to handle.
You mentioned Michael James. Wisconsin also has a pretty good running back of their own in Monty Ball. Who do you think will end up with a better stat line for Rose Bowl, Ball or James?
I think that Ball will probably end up with a better stat line. I like his matchup against Oregon's defense a little bit better than I do James against Wisconsin. But, I mean, Oregon's just got so many weapons on that offense that I think even if James doesn't end up with a better stat line, he'll have a bigger impact just because it'll be a little bit easier for him to get on track.
Sure. Later that night, January 2nd, the Fiesta Bowl will feature Oklahoma State. They're going to be playing Stanford, a pair of really good quarterbacks in this game with Andrew Luck and Brandon Whedon. Tork, how do you think this game will play out?
I think this is the most intriguing matchup of the entire BCS slate because of that quarterback matchup that you just mentioned. Like I said, Whedon has a little bit of help. I mean, he's thrown to one of the best receivers in the country in Justin Blackman. But I do feel like he's for real. I mean, he's got the skills. He may not be quite as talented as Andrew Luck, but he's got a bit better supporting cast. And I'm really excited to see how those offenses can go toe-to-toe.
Who do you think will be the victor in that game?
I think that Oklahoma State will probably come out on top. Their defense has been maligned by a lot of people this year because they give up a lot of yards, but they lead the nation in turnovers forced, and I think that's going to be a pretty stiff challenge for Luck in that passing offense of Stanford.
All right. The next night, January 3rd, the Sugar Bowl. Michigan is going to be playing Virginia Tech. Denard Robinson, obviously a pretty widely known name across the country. How do you think he'll fare against that Virginia Tech defense?
Well, Virginia Tech's defense is rated very highly. I mean, it's 12th in the nation in total defense, 8th in scoring defense, but they only have forced 22 turnovers on the year, which is actually sounds relatively impressive, but it's a very low number for a Beamer defense, and I really feel like Denard Robinson is going to give them fits.
Do you think Michigan will come out on top then, I take it?
I do.
Okay.
Their defense is much improved this year, and Robinson is still a one-man wrecking crew on offense.
All right. January 4th, the Orange Bowl, probably the least intriguing matchup of the 5 BCS games this year. Orange Bowl will feature Clemson. They're going to be playing West Virginia. Tork, how do you think that'll play out?
I think West Virginia will come out on top. Their offense, led by Geno Smith, is pretty impressive, and their defense has been pretty solid all year. Clemson just doesn't really impress me that much. I mean, they've got a nice team, but they just really don't come off to me as a BCS-worthy team, and their defense is average at best, and I think that's going to be a real nightmare for them going against Geno Smith.
You just saw footage of LSU's game-winning field goal earlier this season when LSU defeated Alabama. It's going to be the rematch this year in the national championship game. Some people think it should be Oklahoma State, but it's going to be Alabama-LSU. Tork, how do you think round 2 will end up?
I think it's going to be pretty much the same as it was the first time around. I know this is a controversial matchup, but these are the two best teams, and it's going to be another hard-hitting game of football. I think it'll be a little bit more high-scoring this time around, but I still think that LSU and that defense led by Tyrann Mathieu and Morris Claiborne is going to come out on top.
All right. Well, there you have our predictions and a little bit of analysis of the 5 BCS bowl games. Thank you very much for tuning in.